All right, what's up, everyone? It's another episode of Stand Tall, and today it is the special edition Sunday SEMA. So, what we have is methods of the SEMA, which comes out of the same, I guess, style of books that The Art of War, one of them, came out of. So, we're going to do that, and then we're going to hop over to the Daily Stoic. And so, we are in verse 6 of Methods of the SEMA, January 28th. Then there were the sage kings. They controlled the rites, the way, the music, the regulations and measures, implemented the 5 imperial punishments, and it has a footnote about imperial punishments. So the 5 chief forms of punishment in feudal China up to the Han times were tattooing characters on the forehead, cutting off the nose, amputation of one or both feet, castration, and execution. So the Sage Kings implemented the punishments, regulations, measures, mobilized armored troops to suppress injustice. They carried out tours of inspection across every province, meeting all of the dukes, examining their differences. When the dukes lost command and disorder became common, when they turned their back on virtue and went against the seasons of heaven, they endangered good rulers. The sage kings would inform their dukes all over the country of their negligence. Kings informed the Lord of high heaven, the sun, the moon, and the stars of the transgressions. They prayed to earth and all the deities of the world. They would give offerings at the tombs of the first kings. And then would the chief minister summon the troops before all dukes and say, a certain state has deviated from the Tao, and we are to attack it. A date will be set for the troops to arrive and meet with the emperor in order to punish and rectify that state. So they were very traditional in the sense of religion. So they had sage kings that performed the rituals and things like that. And they were very, very strict in following the way. So that's why it's important to know more about, right, the Tao as referenced in the Art of War, because it is referenced quite a bit. And then the Tao in general is just one of those things that you have to know. Okay, January 28th for reference, right? It's just like knowing an equation almost. Yeah, at least you have a good framework. January 28th, watching the wise. Take a good hard look at people's ruling principle, especially of the wise, what they run away from and what they seek out. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations 4.38. So, like, being wise is really important. Move towards the fight is one of the things that I wrote in my journal. At some point, realizing that you have to move towards the difficulty. Putting yourself in difficult situations is the only way that you grow. And so the people who are wise, what do? Wise people usually have a lot of rich experiences. Wise people usually read a lot of books. Wise people usually make calculated risks. There's all of these things that, wise people do. And it depends on also what your definition of wise is. Someone who's wise might be the person who creates an escape in the forest, teaching English to, in like a fishing village or something like that with no access to electronics, versus somebody who is the complete opposite and is like a mogul or real estate magnate or hedge fund magnate in New York City. That person is also wise. It just depends on what level of introspection we're looking at here. So I think the important thing is that the ruling principle of you is what's important. And what ruling principle do you want to mimic in people that you want to be like and be successful like? You can pick and choose, and you need to be observant, like Sun Tzu says, observing the other's army to compare to your own. Seneca has said, without a ruler to do it against, you can't make crooked straight. That is the role of wise people in our lives, to serve as model and inspiration, to bounce ideas off and test our presumptions. Who that other person will be for is up to you. Perhaps it's your father or your mother. Maybe it's a philosopher or a writer or a thinker. Perhaps what would Jesus do is the right model for you. But pick someone, watch what they do, and watch what they don't do, and do your best to do the same. Right? So watch what they don't do. Not just watch what they do. Not just do as I say and not as I do. But watching what they don't do. Maybe they don't make haste decisions. Maybe they sleep on decisions before replying. Maybe Maybe they acknowledge that they received an email and communicate a little bit more effectively. Maybe they choose not to communicate something. These are all things that we need to think of. So keep standing tall, and we'll see you on the next one.